the song title challenge, where you get inside the mind of a hit songwriter, and that hit songwriter is my co-host, Mr. Brent Baxter.
Hello.
And what we do here, if you're new to the show, you send in your song titles. I spring them on Brent live on the show. We take about 10 to 15 minutes to try to flesh out 4 or 5 different conceptual ideas on how you would write the lyric and really dig down creatively and try to twist something up. If you've got a song title and you want to send it in, then please do so. Send it to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. Once again, info@daredevilproduction.com. In the subject line of the email, put song title challenge so it gets into the right folder and we give it its due attention. And then you never know, like I just sort of pick them based on how I'm feeling today, and that's what we do.
Yep.
So anything you want to add to that?
This is not a co-write. It is your song.
Right.
And just anything that you can glean from this is just my gift to you. And also, it's really about learning how to dig deeper and go, oh, this idea, I don't have to go with the first idea that comes with this title. There are some other ideas hidden in there. Let me go look for them in my own ideas. So, yep, that's the point.
That's right. That's right.
So, I'm not ready.
All right. I know you never are. All right. So this is from Jill Marie.
Joe or Jill?
Jill Marie.
All right.
And the song title is this: In Pieces Together.
Okay. In Pisces Together.
Mm-hmm.
As I try to spell it out in my note here. Okay. In Pieces Together. So first thing I think of is that, is that George Strait song, I think, Let's Fall to Pieces Together.
Oh, it's already out there.
So that was
Oops, didn't know that.
The old, classic George Strait -- from like the early 80s or something. So there's that thing, which is going to be hard to get out of my head. So if we're in a co-write, I'd be like, well, they got this thing. But, it's been, how many years ago is that? 30-something years,
35
right?
years.
So it's not like it's a new song. It's a classic George Strait. So people that are more embedded may get it. But most listeners today aren't going to know about that. But as a writer, I'm like, boy, that's going to be in the back of my head. I'm going to be trying not to write that, which would be a little bit of a downsider for me. But looking at this going, okay, how can we... And that's also the main idea I think of is the conceit of that song was, pardon me, you left your tears on the jukebox, and I'm afraid they got mixed up with mine.
Yeah.
And so we're both here, let's share what's left of two hearts coming undone.
Company.
Yeah, let's fall to pieces together. Why should we both fall apart? Let's fall to pieces together tonight in each other's arms. Basically, we're both miserable, we're both brokenhearted, both been dumped or whatever. If we're going to be in pieces, let's be in pieces together. Which is a really good way to write it.
Yeah.
And so, there's that thing.
It's an extra challenge for you today.
That is an extra, how to navigate without stepping right on top of George Strait. But the thing is, if you write that same kind of, you can't copyright the title, and of course the title's different. The general conceit of it, the thought of it, is very similar. But you know what? You can't copyright that stuff because the same general ideas have been written all the time. Your advantage would be, I can write it for today's market, up tempo. That was a slower country kind of thing.
Sure.
Great, but just not
old school
today's
George
market.
Strait.
Yeah, old school, early George. So now you can let's do it, more of a tempo pop country kind of thing, and it's going to be worlds apart from this. But okay, so that's one thing is if we're both in pieces, let's be in pieces together. So we kind of have that in our pocket. Let's see what else we can come up with. Boy, it'd be hard to unglue myself from that. So in pieces, so that makes you think a negative, falling apart, shattered, broken, puzzle pieces. Makes you think pieces together. I wonder if you could even call it pieces together. That may open up some things that you could do with it. Because then, let's put the pieces together. If we're going to be in pieces, let's be in pieces together. We might just find that, that helps put the pieces together. You could do something like that. If you just take the "in" off there, you may open up some ways you can kind of twist it a little bit more. Because I like the idea about pieces together. Like it's a mystery of the puzzle. Me and you you got the puzzle
the "in"
pieces.
puts a negative thing on it, like it's falling
in pieces,
apart somehow.
Right? It's a negative connotation. But if you just take that off, then you can also, by the end of it, we're coming together, and it might just help put the pieces together. Might be a thing. So that'd be one suggestion.
You can still say "in pieces You could still even use the original title and sort of spin that as maybe just two people with their own sets of baggage, right?
Right.
Like,
We're each in
maybe
pieces.
it's not like right there where the heartbreak's happening, like with George's song, right by the jukebox, but they, you know what, like they complement each other. They the pieces fit together, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, it could be, you know, kind of our jagged edges fit together.
Yeah.
And so we'll be, you know, we're both in pieces, but at least we're in pieces together.
Yeah.
It could be something like that where, not right there in the honky-tonk jukebox thing, but just like, you know, you've been hurt, I've been hurt. We've both got these scars and these edges. But, you know, if we're both in pieces, at least we're in pieces together. You know, there's some ways that we fit. You know, we're codependent, but so, codependent and loving it.
That's right.
Whatever that is. So, let's see. So that, you know, then that's more just how do you frame it so it's away from the straight thing and where it's cool and current and commercial and that sort of thing. So it's still, it has some darkness to it, but it's ultimately a positive thing.
Yep.
You know, so in pieces together.
I mean, idea.
Okay, yes, Johnny, you in the corner with the tall hair.
Yes. So actually, two things. So I think about
don't abuse it,
like the Brady Bunch.
Yes.
Right. And your family.
Yeah.
Different pieces.
Right, but we're all in pieces together. Yeah. That's true. So Brady Bunch, you got the two broken families,
right,
that are stitched together with love.
That's right. And
in our case, the adoption. So yeah, and it, and it comes together in pieces, right? Yeah. I mean, there's that thing in there too of, because I always try to let the title write the song. So you got these little. So it comes together in pieces. Doesn't mean it falls apart into pieces.
That's
but
interesting.
It comes together in pieces, right?
Yeah.
You get a chunk here and you get a chunk here, and it's coming together in pieces. So it's coming together in pieces. I'm not sure how you quite make that lyrical turn to it's.
You could make that a Thomas Rhett song, man. Like, I mean, you could do it like really young and really hip and really cool, like just about this sort of dating process of meeting a girl. Like, you're getting to the point where you're going to ask her to marry you because it's all kind of coming together, like in little pieces. I'm finding out more about her.
And maybe you do just say it, bass backwards, where it's like, it's all in pieces. It's coming in pieces together. It's a little Yoda speak. Normally say it's coming together in pieces. Right. Maybe you could say, it's coming in pieces together. Or if you say it's
that's cool, yeah.
It's coming together in pieces, and we all got our stuff, but but we're in pieces together. Maybe there's a way to come together in pieces that are come together in pieces, and we're in pieces together or something. There's that thing about these chunks are kind of falling into place, maybe in this love relationship or your family, your life. It doesn't all happen at once, right? Our lives come together in pieces. You get this one part, and this other part's out of whack, and this other part comes in, and so it could be the same thing about a love thing. Like, I got my heart broken, and you got your heart broken, and now it's still come together in pieces. Because I had to get freed up, and you had to get freed up. And then then we had to meet, so these pieces are falling into place, right?
Right.
And maybe that's the kind of thing too. You got a lot with pieces. Pieces are falling into place. It's coming together in pieces.
Is there a way to spin that and play off
we're in
piece
pieces together. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is. About finding peace, missing peace. There's all that stuff too. So that could be interesting if you kind of follow that about.
She's got her piece, I got my piece.
Man,
she said her piece, I said my piece, and now we're in pieces together.
Yeah. And that kind of makes me want to, you could even simplify the title into pieces. And then you can really play off all that stuff.
Ooh.
It's come together in pieces.
So that lyric can still be in there, but maybe
pieces,
you call it
we're
different.
in pieces, and now we're in pieces together. And you could do something like that. So, that makes it the love story, which is commercial. It you could do, if you do it commercially relevant sonically, right? Tempo and that kind of stuff. That's good, and it's positive. So that checks a lot of those kind of boxes. It puts the math a little bit more in your favor as far as getting a cut. That's not always the right thing to do, but for the song. But it feels like that'd be a good unexpected way to go. Because if you see a song in pieces, you're thinking, I'm in pieces. I fall to pieces. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Patsy Cline, right? That kind of stuff. But if you're just talking about it's coming together in pieces. It's just it's coming. It's working. It's we're coming together in pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
then it gives us some. You maybe don't see it coming so much. I heard somebody talking an interview with Walker Hayes, and he was talking about kind of what got him on Shane McAnally's radar, and finally what got Shane to kind of pull the trigger on working with him. He's like, I love it because you send me these songs, and I always, as a writer, I try to think where they're going, and they never go where I think they're going to go.
Right.
There's value in, like, what's he going to do with this?
Yeah.
And so with a song like Pieces, if you're doing it positive and that kind of stuff, people won't see that coming as much.
Yeah.
And that's really the value of all the song title challenges. We're trying to get you to think in ways that other people aren't.
Put a little mystery in there.
Put a little mystery, a little different twist on it so your stuff stands out from those other titles.
Because you're just going to make them curious.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts on that one. Hopefully that's helpful.
Well, right on. Well, hey, if you want to, if you got a song title that, or a whole song that you'd like to hash out and you'd like to do with a pro hit songwriter, in fact, what can they do to make that happen? Right?
Yeah, I do. I do some one-on-one coaching. They're private, they're online, they're phone, whatever. You don't have to live in Nashville. We usually do these online and over something like Skype or whatever, or over the phone. But yeah, we can do your own personal song title challenge. You have a song that title you're not sure what to do with. I can help prepare your song, or I can help repair your song if you've already written and you want to get some feedback. Or you can just ask me questions about the business, the art and craft and the business of songwriting. Basically, it's my time to serve you however I can. Whatever you're needing, I want to meet you there and try to help you out that way. You can get all the details, see my schedule, and book an appointment at songwritingpro.com/coaching. Songwritingpro.com/coaching. And we'll get you all hooked up.
There you go. Imagine what you can learn from hanging out with somebody who does it for a living.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of another song title challenge. Once again, if you have a title, send it to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com. Put song title challenge in the subject line. It'll get into the right place. And who knows? We might just make it happen on the air. Thank you, Jill Marie, for sending that in.
Yes, thank you.
We'll holler at you.
Song title challenge.